Welcome to another edition of #Unplugged. Now, in this edition, we are joined by an esteemed panel of tech leaders and tech experts to share their practitioner insights on the topic, the future of financial services beyond the branch, the role of enterprise mobility and mobile apps. I am David Chin, Deputy CEO for CIO Academy Asia, and I am excited to host this exclusive dialogue. How has the financial service industry, in your perspective, transformed to make financial products and services available over mobile applications and mobile devices? Please go ahead to share, Saiful.
Thanks, David. There's a lot of improvement in terms of technology and also application of these mobile services and mobile devices that contributes to this expansion of the market and also the outreach to all our customers. If you can see that because of the pandemic, mostly people are unable to come outside to go visit the branches. So most of these banking and financial services, they extended their services for that to reach their customers. Like for mobile banking, they offer more and more tools and also services. If before this, you can only make withdrawals and transfer funds. So everything is self-services. So all these customers, these users have the ability and given the tools for them to self-service, and also at the same time, they are able to leverage all the services offered by this banking.
Thanks, Saiful. So it's a mix of self-service, but for certain areas of the business, I like what you say, you still need the personal touch. Kun Voranuch, same question to you, right? How have your organization transformed with the use of mobile capabilities to make your financial products and services more accessible to your customers and business stakeholders?
Yeah, I think it's almost similar to what Saiful said. Then, right? We can see for SCB itself, we have the total deposit customer around 16 million. And for the online customer, it's increased a lot for the mobile. So for now, I think the mobile banking become crucial. And we can see a lot more that we help. One is about customer onboarding, new onboarding that never happened before. However, there's still some limitation of the KYC that somehow that they have to visit the branch. But we saw in terms of the appoint the banking agent like convenience store that they can do the KYC. And for now, like with more the KYC coming, then now they are eligible to open others, like apply for the credit cards and others. So it's gonna help. And a lot of the self-services, even like we can see about the bank assurance. The customers still, especially like in case of the dispute, even they try to contact the call center, we still like the customer doesn't like IVR, even the chat, it doesn't help, right? Somehow, like with the Thai language, the chat, it may not be truly. So we found a lot of things like with things that we try to use the bot, the chat bot, but the call through the IVR is still, to the agent is still high. And one thing like from the SCB that this kind of the initiative, especially during COVID, we expand into the food logistics, food delivery. So we built a platform called like Robinhood, and this is help the customer in terms of like instead have to pay about the delivery is so high, it kind of like give them about the some kind of reduction, and then you can interface with the use of our debit card or our bank. So this kind of also in terms of the more convenience, easy, and then like instead of only the financial service, we go to other things that they can also like take benefit, and we can also like expand our market.
Nathalie, from what both Saiful and Kun Voranuch have shared, I always believe in this. Technology, when it gets very good, people often take it for granted. And when the technology is so simple and so seamless, even having a camera, right, to capture your identity is taken for granted. But that wasn't the case, 10 years ago. How has the landscape transformed in the adoption of mobility to serve customers better in the financial services sector?
Yeah, thanks. I think I can just echo what just was said. I think like this online and online banking and mobile banking is just on the rise. So we see the big transformation across in this region, also in all financial services or organizations. What the key point is, what I think what is really interesting is this connectivity, because as you know, as you said, you mentioned, you still need the agent, so you still need the physical, the contact. So just want to share some examples also to illustrate what I say, what we're seeing. I think if you look into the mobile agents bringing the banking services to the customers, we have a great example in Indonesia where we work with BRI, and they bring their field agents bring branchless banking services to the customer. So they just have a mobile device. With the mobile, it was pre-configured with the mobile applications they need, and then they go to the customers and can provide the right service. So really onboarding more customers also who can't go to the branch anymore at the moment, or also who didn't have access because the branch is too far away. And we also work with customers to digitalize the whole experience, the whole processes. So in Thailand, where we digitalize, for example, the loan, for example, home loan process. So the appraisal team is in the field and just simple digitalizing. And by giving a mobile device, they can take pictures, they can take notes, and just send the email directly. So they're on the site, having all the information, speeding up the process for the loan approval, and which is like saves time for the agent, but also for the customer. This is what we see in the field, but also it was also mentioned by Kun Voranuch. It's also the digitalization in the branch. So where we see the digitalization of the customer journey. We're working in Germany. We're working with Sparkasse, for example. And they create a digital center where customers really can experience this digital transformation of the financial industries. They come in, they could have come in with their mobile device, also with the app, and ask some questions, or they can come in for an appointment to get advice on a topic. And then the branch employee just calls another expert, for example, insurance or anything, on the topic using video call, who can then share additional information. So that's just a bit the breach what I mean about this online and offline. You get the relevant information and the right information at the right time. And then what we also see, it's the personalized experience. Bringing the right, as I said, the right information is important. So in Thailand, also we work with another bank where you have a queuing system, for example. So customer walks in the branch, types in information, the queuing system is also linked to an e-brochure, and giving them more information about what they're interested in, where they're coming to the branch. And then they come to the counter where there's a tablet with the e-brochure and advertisement information. And this is tailored to the customer's need and really just sharing the relevant information based on what they just put in when they came to the branch. So it's really creating then this personalized experience. There's a lot of going on, and it's really interesting to see the transformation where this is heading also.
It is very clear that the financial services industry are refactoring many of their business processes and services to operate more effectively in a mobile environment with the use of cloud. What if devices get stolen? And within Samsung's capabilities, you have a suite of very robust security tools to ensure the security of the devices and the data and applications that exist in those devices. Would you care to share some of those tools?
It definitely, completely agree that, security, we always talk about mobile strategy, digital strategy. First thing, especially in banks, is securing, like the security is very important. And when we talk about security, we always talk about privacy of the data, but also trust in the hardware and in the systems. So in Samsung, we have embedded the security right into the hardware. So there's a separate secure container in the hardware where sensitive and confidential data can be stored. So like the financial data or personal data could be there, and it's on the hardware itself. And it's completely hidden and separated of the operating system level and also the application level. And we have, from this hardware base, we then have a overlapping series of defense and security mechanism in the OS system, and like spanning through the OS system and the application system. And this multi-layered defense system, which we call Samsung Knox, this ensures that the devices are always running, operating in a secure state, and they're always like we secure the integrity and that the applications are working properly. Also, if you look into how to access those devices, because your agents, if they're out in the field, if there's password, maybe you can crack it. But if you add the biometric fingerprint, the facial recognition, you can also make sure that it's the right agent accessing those devices. Also, if you look further, if you're thinking of digital signature, you're signing the content with the pen. So with our S Pen, you also have like a biometric e-signature, because the S Pen is capturing the speed you sign, the pressure, and the sequence you sign, for example. And this is, if you look into fraud of signature fraud, this could also be a tool where digital can help to prevent those frauds and really secure the banking, helping the banking sector to secure it. So that's where also the Knox, we call them Knox solutions, come in. So the use case I mentioned in Indonesia, where BRI are using it for their field agents, they are using our Knox solution. So we can have geolocalization always on, for example, on the devices. You can configure specific features for connectivity, like Wi-Fi network, just allow specific Wi-Fi's or network to connect on, so you can't change it. And this makes, and also monitor the different devices, how they're used. So this makes sure that we can really monitor the devices, and also if they're lost, you can remotely, you can, for example, set the factory setup, you can't reboot it again, or we just shut it down and write down all the data all remotely if a device gets really lost. So making sure that the data is secure.
So my question is this: with all these changes, do you have a vision for how the future bank branch will look like, given that now many people can access banking services through things like mobile apps?
For the past few years, we reduced about around 20% right now. But what we discussed so far, the branch before, it like services more than sales. So we can say about like 80%, 20% service, 20% is sales. So with this thing, we discussed together, seem like we're going to turn the branch to be more sales rather than services. So I think like the branch side will be reduced for sure.
Right. So thanks, Nathalie, thanks, Saiful, and thanks, Kun Voranuch. Looking at new areas of business, right? And making that customer experience so much more personalized to give them that competitive edge today. With that, we've now come to the end of this edition of #Unplugged. Do follow us on LinkedIn and visit us at CIO Academy Asia.org for more information. Thank you.